Patricia is 68 years old, retired nurse in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Gets $2,200 a month from Social Security. That check covers her mortgage, her Medicare Part B premium, her groceries, and her car insurance. There's maybe $160 left over at the end of the month. Last Tuesday, Patricia opened her mailbox and found a letter from the Social Security Administration. It said she'd been overpaid $11,400 over the past 3 years, and starting in 90 days, the SSA would withhold 50% of her monthly benefit, $1,100 per month, until the full amount was recovered. Patricia didn't steal anything. She didn't lie on a form. 3 years ago, the SSA miscalculated her benefit when she transitioned from disability to retirement. Their system made the error, but now they want $11,400 back. And they're going to take half her check to get it. Patricia isn't alone. The SSA identified roughly $23 billion in overpayments between 2020 and 2024. Millions of seniors, many on fixed incomes, are receiving these letters right now. And most of them don't know they have 3 legal options to fight back. This video covers exactly what the Social Security clawback is, why the withholding rate just jumped from 10% to 50% in 2026, the 3 forms you can file to stop it or reduce it, and a step-by-step timeline so you don't miss the 90-day window. I'm Joshua with Senior Benefits Decoded. I am not a lawyer, I am not a financial advisor. I'm a researcher who reads the federal regulations so you don't have to. Every number in this video comes from the SSA, AARP, and the Office of the Inspector General. Links are in the description. If you're getting a Social Security check, you need to know this, because the SSA doesn't warn you before the letter arrives. Subscribe now so you're never caught off guard. Let's get into it. First, what is a Social Security overpayment? An overpayment happens when the SSA pays you more than you were entitled to receive. This can happen for a lot of reasons. You went back to work and earned more than the earnings limit. Your disability status changed and the SSA didn't adjust your payments in time. You got married or divorced and didn't report it. You moved and your living arrangement changed your SSI eligibility. Or, and this is the one that infuriates people, the SSA itself made a calculation error. According to the SSA's own Inspector General report from July 2024, improper payments make up less than 1% of total benefit outlays. But because the SSA pays out nearly $1.4 trillion per year to 73 million people, even a fraction of 1% adds up to billions. And here's the part that matters. The SSA is legally required to try to recover overpayments. They don't have a choice. Federal law mandates it. The question isn't whether they'll come for the money. The question is how much they'll take from your check each month, and whether you can stop it. Now, the history of withholding rates. This is important because the rules have changed 3 times in 2 years. Before March 2024, the SSA's default clawback rate was 100%. That means if you were overpaid and didn't respond within 30 days, the SSA would withhold your entire Social Security check, every dollar, until the debt was repaid. People on fixed incomes were getting checks of $0. Seniors couldn't pay rent. There was a public outcry. Congress got involved. In March 2024, the SSA reduced the default withholding rate to 10%. That was a massive relief. If you owed $11,000 and your check was $2,200, they'd only take $220 per month. You could still pay your bills. Then in March 2025, the SSA announced it was going back to 100% withholding. Full clawback. $0 checks again. The backlash was immediate. AARP called it unconscionable. Senators from both parties pushed back. And on April 25, 2025, the SSA issued an emergency internal message, a compromise. The new default withholding rate is 50%, not 10, not 100, 50. That's where we are today in 2026. If you receive an overpayment notice and do nothing for 90 days, the SSA will take half of your monthly benefit. For Patricia, that's $1,100 per month gone. For someone getting $1,600 a month, that's $800 gone. But here's what the letter doesn't make obvious. You have 3 legal options to fight back, and all 3 must be exercised within that 90-day window. Option 1. File an appeal. This is Form SSA 561, Request for Reconsideration. You file this if you believe you were not overpaid, or the amount the SSA says you owe is wrong. This is the form Patricia should file. The SSA made the calculation error. She has bank statements showing her income never changed. She has her original award letter showing the amount the SSA told her she'd receive. If the SSA gave her the wrong amount, that's their mistake, and an appeal puts the burden on them to prove the overpayment was correct. Critical detail. If you file Form SSA 561 within 30 days of the date on your overpayment notice, the SSA cannot withhold any money while they review your case. Not 50%, not 10%, 0. They must wait until they issue a decision. That review can take months, and during those months your full check keeps coming. If you file after 30 days but within 90 days, the SSA may begin withholding but must still process your appeal. Option 2. Request a waiver. This is Form SSA 632BK, Request for Waiver of Overpayment Recovery. You file this if you agree you were overpaid, but it wasn't your fault, and paying it back would cause financial hardship. The SSA will grant a waiver if 2 conditions are met. 1. The overpayment was not your fault, meaning you didn't knowingly provide wrong information or fail to report a required change. And 2. Recovery would deprive you of money needed for ordinary living expenses, food, shelter, medical care, clothing. If you're on a fixed income and paying back $11,000 at 50% of your check would mean you can't afford medications or rent. That's textbook hardship. File the waiver. Same timing rule applies. File within 30 days and the SSA cannot collect while they decide. File within 90 days and they must still consider it. Option 3, request a lower withholding rate. Even if you don't appeal or request a waiver, you can ask the SSA to reduce the 50% withholding to a lower amount based on your financial situation. You do this by contacting the SSA directly, calling 1-800-772-1213 or visiting your local office, and explaining that 50% would cause hardship. The SSA can reduce the rate to as low as 10% of your monthly benefit. They did it before as a default, and they can still do it on a case-by-case basis. But you have to ask. They will not volunteer it. Here's the timeline that matters. Day 1. You receive the overpayment notice in the mail. The date printed on that letter is your starting clock. Within 30 days, file Form SSA 561 if you disagree with the amount, or Form SSA 632BK if you want a waiver. Filing either form within 30 days freezes all withholding. Your full check continues while the SSA reviews. Within 90 days, if you miss the 30-day window, you can still file either form. The SSA must process it, but they may begin withholding in the meantime. After 90 days, if you've done nothing, the SSA begins withholding 50% automatically. No warning call, no second letter. It just starts. That's why the moment you get one of these letters, you treat it like a fire alarm. Don't put it in a drawer. Don't wait until next month. Open it, note the date, and take action within 30 days. Now, how to prevent overpayments in the first place? The SSA says most overpayments happen because they have incorrect information about you. 4 things you should report immediately if they change. You start or stop working. You get married, separated, or divorced. You move to a new address, or your disability status changes. If you report changes within 10 days of them happening, you dramatically reduce the chance the SSA overpays you, which means you'll never get one of these letters. Also, check your My Social Security account online at SSA.gov at least once a year. Look at your payment history. If the numbers don't match what you expected, call the SSA before they call you. Catching an overpayment early, before it compounds over 2 or 3 years, means a smaller amount to resolve and less financial disruption. Let's come back to Patricia. She got her overpayment notice on a Monday. The date on the letter was April 14th, 2026. She has until May 14th to file and freeze all withholding. Patricia's daughter helped her download Form SSA 561 from SSA.gov. They attached Patricia's original award letter, 3 years of bank statements, and a one-page letter explaining that Patricia's income never changed. The SSA calculated her benefit wrong. They submitted it online through Patricia's My Social Security account and kept a confirmation screenshot. Result: the SSA cannot touch Patricia's $2,200 check while they review her appeal. If the appeal is granted, she owes nothing. If it's denied, she can then file the waiver, SSA 632BK, and make the hardship argument. That buys her more months at full benefits while the waiver is reviewed. Total cost to Patricia, $0. Total time, about 40 minutes to gather documents and submit online. Compare that to doing nothing, $1,100 per month withheld for roughly 10 months. $11,000 taken from a woman who did nothing wrong. Here's your 5-step action checklist. Step 1. Log into your My Social Security account at SSA.gov right now. Check your payment history for any irregularities. If you don't have an account, create one today. It takes 10 minutes. Step 2. If you've received an overpayment notice, find the date on the letter immediately. Mark 30 days from that date on your calendar in red. That's your freeze deadline. Step 3. If you disagree with the overpayment amount, file Form SSA 561 within 30 days. Download it from SSA.gov or submit online through your account. Step 4. If you agree you were overpaid but can't afford to pay it back, file Form SSA 632BK within 30 days. Attach proof of your monthly expenses: rent, utilities, medical bills, food costs. Show that repayment would cause hardship. Step 5. If you miss 30 days but are still within 90, file immediately anyway. And call 1-800-772-1213 to request a lower withholding rate while your case is reviewed. Ask for 10% instead of 50%. Next week, a new bill in Pennsylvania could eliminate property taxes for every senior homeowner over 75. I'll break down the Sam Worley Act, which states might follow, and what it means for your home. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. Drop a comment below. Have you or anyone you know received one of these overpayment letters? I read every single one. I'm Joshua. This is Senior Benefits Decoded. I'll see you in the next one.